All right, so let's see. Let's do a sound check here. Looks like we are good. Hope everybody's having a good morning here. We're going to get Microsoft Flight Simulator loaded up here and throw in a NeoFly mission. And we're going to be doing a passenger mission, it looks like. And let's go ahead and check. So yesterday, after our first video there for NeoFly, or only video for NeoFly yesterday, we did a bigger job and we actually landed that I didn't record or go live, but we landed in Pennsylvania. So that's where we currently reside. And then we're going to do a relatively short flight here, 127 nautical miles, over to Baltimore, Maryland. So I think this is a new state for us. I don't think we've ever landed in Baltimore, Maryland, ever, like, period. So we're on our quest to New York, and we're almost there. So we'll figure out something to do after that. But in the meantime, I did create the flight plan already. So we will get that loaded up here. So we are going to KMTN. So we're leaving KJST. I'm sorry, it's early in the morning here. All right, and then we're gonna get this thing going here. So we're going from Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland. All right, we're gonna start off on runway number 15, and we're landing on 15. So, not too bad. This says 133. I got 127. So, I don't know. Is what it is. A little difference between NeoFly, or not NeoFly, or NavMap and Microsoft Flight Simulator.
It looks like the weather is perfect for flying. Transporter from dispatch. The passengers for the concert are waiting for you at the boarding parking. Captain, we have opened the gates for boarding. The passengers are on their way.
Alright, so we got our cup of coffee here this morning. We'll get this thing loaded up. We're doing a little VFR trip this one, so we got a little more leeway with our flight plan.
Looks like everyone is on board. Let's get out of here.
Alright, so we got clear for takeoff.
Taxi to the runway and take
we got live weather. We'll go ahead and adjust our time of day there, but we're going to keep live weather. So if we got everything going here, let's see. Heat is on, that is on. We're facing in the right direction. We're going to do that. Our flight plan is adjusted for 3,500 feet. And we are ready for takeoff, almost. We're going to adjust our flaps there. So, for all those that don't know, we are currently in the TBM 930 that we purchased, and we're sitting here on runway number 15, ready for takeoff. So, appreciate you guys tuning in. We're going to release that parking brake, put the yoke back on. And get lifted. Alright, once we get settled in the air here, we're going to be climbing to 3,500 feet, and once we get done with our departure leg, we're going to be banking a little bit to the left. Alright, so we got positive climb. Alright, so we're leaving the Murtha Johnstown, Cambria airport there, over in, let's find out exactly where in Pennsylvania this is. Johnstown, Pennsylvania. So we're going to be heading over to Martin State Airport over in Baltimore, Maryland. Alright, so a nice little close flyby on the windmills here. This one's coming pretty close. So, beautiful mountains of western Pennsylvania. Alright, so let's go ahead. Everything seems to be leveled off here. So, we're going to go ahead and go to our passenger flight. So we are flying Catherine, 67-year-old female, over to Baltimore, Maryland. She's going to the shore to do a little partying. Alright, so we're going to go ahead. We like Catherine. She looks cool. We are going to serve her a drink. See if we can get her happiness up from 52%, because here at our NeoFly career, we're trying to maintain that 100% reputation. So I know it might be a little silly to have a flight attendant on a TBM 930 that only sits 4, but we are good. We don't have a co-pilot, and we got room for... Alright, we're going to turn on landing lights because I always forget those. Alright, so a little update on what we're doing here with flying. So 2 things, or 2 main points. One is our NeoFly career, the second one is our bush trips, or homemade bush trips that we're doing. So with the NeoFly career, which this is part of it, we are currently running that mission over from Johnstown, Pennsylvania, over to Baltimore, Maryland. Short flight, about a little over 100 nautical miles. And the update on our pilots, so 2 of them, Snoopy and Hurricane. Snoopy has hit the $5.1 million revenue mark, and Hurricane hit the 2 million, and that's because Snoop is higher ranked than Hurricane, and she's running a little bit bigger jobs. And so our pilot, once again, headed to Baltimore, Maryland. This is our journey to New York City. We started in Florida, went the lower states of the United States over to the West Coast, up California to the Northwest, and then we started heading towards the Northeast. So we're going to try to get a nice flight over into New York City. And along the way, I think we started in like the Cessna 172. We started as a rental, and then we brought one. We hired some pilots. I think we had like 4 going at one time. We hired some flight attendants, and everything's going good. And swapped out planes along the way. So I think I was in that 172 rental, and then I earned enough money, bought my own, and then I started renting this one out after I got my Class C license. And the one that I bought, we had a pilot running it for a little while, but currently just sits in the hangar. No one's flying that one. And this one's nice. I like the TBM 930. So the other financial part of it, we're currently sit at $3.4 million in cash. Our net worth is 7.6 with the total fixed assets of 3.5 million. So that's all our NeoFly update. Not the entire history of it, but it is our sort of current standings, I guess you can say. Yeah, so then our bush talk, or bush trip, homemade bush trips. We're currently doing our Hawaiian one, where we completed the 3rd leg of 8, and we're starting on the westernmost island and headed over to the Big Island. Go ahead and finish handing off with ATC here. Alright, we adjusted our altimeter to 30.11. Yeah, so we're gonna so back to the bush adventure. Well, yeah, we'll just call them adventure trips. So the Hawaiian one, we completed 3 of 8 that we planned out, and we're gonna try to do the 4th today. Well, we'll definitely do the 4th today. So that will be coming soon enough. I just haven't decided if I'm going to do it live or recorded yet. We do have a couple of photo shoots to do today. So that ding is our flight attendant finished serving drinks, so Catherine's a little happier here. She started at 52%. Maybe she was a little nervous on flying. We're trying to ease her mind a little bit. So she's currently at 76%. Nice little mountains here. Alright, that was Interstate 76. We got to adjust our altimeter to 30.10. Alright, so looking at our weather here, we got wind at our back at 23 knots. So wind's moving. So it should help with the distance here. So we got 67 nautical miles to the top of our descent. We do have a little bit of mountain terrain here over in western Pennsylvania. So this is where I'm looking at the bottom here. So we started over here. Elevation was 2,700 feet ground level. We're coming up to another little peak here. So let's go ahead and see what that is. So just a nice little ridge of mountains there. Let's see if we can find the names of them. So just to our right here, there is Big Mountain Outlook. So it's a little touristy thing, so you can kind of go up there, park your car, snap some photos. Looks like you got a opportunity for some nice sunrises here. Let's go ahead and see what that looks like. Very nice. Alright, we can keep it on the sunrise for now and enjoy the view. Alright. We're going to play with the computer screen here for a moment. Looking for a map layout. Nope, it's not that one. Data link, terrain. back up one. Making sure everything still looks good outside. Wasn't that one? I think I just messed up our GPS. We'll get back on track there. See if we make this little right-hand turn. Alright, so we didn't want to do that. That's what we wanted, deactive that. It's got to be under here. Map layout. I don't know if I like the inserted map. We can do the overlay, the HSI map, or map off. We can keep that in there. Alright, that's enough playing around with that. Alright, so we got the sun peeping up over the horizon. Alright, 30.09. Go ahead and adjust that. Check our flight plan here. We got another little mountain ridge to pass over. That one's not too high. That one just sits at just about 1,600 feet above sea level, and then it looks like everything drops down to just under 1,000 feet, and our runway sits at 15 feet here, so just FYI for that. Like he is leveling out at around 1,700 feet or 17,000 feet. Coming up to the Mid-Atlantic Soaring Center. What is that? Is that like a little... Yeah, Mid-Atlantic Soaring Association. Very cool. They got a grass and a hard runway. Whoops. There we go. So there's the hard runway, and then they got another little grass strip right next to it. Very cool. So, little flying training airport. Carlindo. Alright, and we're coming up. Let's find out the name of that town. That is Emmitsburg. So Emmitsburg, Pennsylvania, and we're currently about, or no, that Emmitsburg is in Maryland. We're crossing over the border right now. And this is State Road 15. And we're basically flying right along here. This road that runs out here is 140. And we're going to be passing Woodland Heights. And then we're going to be basically flying right over 140. And heading on over to Taneytown. Alright, we'll acknowledge the handoff. Oh, and just FYI, we got about 15 minutes left on this flight. Alright, we adjusted our altimeter there. So if we only have about 15 minutes left, let's go ahead and see if we can find our airport, and we'll tune to the tower. We're looking for KMTN. Not seeing it just yet. It should pop up soon. We got an orchard up there. See if we can zoom in on it. Oops, wrong way. There's the orchard. Yeah, I do like this plane. It's very nice to fly. Alright, we got 17 miles to the top of our descent. We're going to start getting ready for our landing procedures here in just a moment. Just taking a good close look at the plane here. Alright. So let's see. We can start our descent here. We're going to go down to about 1,800 feet. We'll do that and reduce our throttle to get our elevation to drop without scaring Catherine. She is 67 years old. Alright. Didn't really like the sync rate, I guess. We went a little too fast. Let's see if we scared her. Nah, Catherine's doing good. She wants a drink, apparently. We're too close to our descent here, Catherine, for a drink, so we're gonna you're gonna need to buckle up and prepare for landing here. So. I know. I'm trying to get down to like 1,800 feet. Catherine's still good. Alright, we're going to reduce our speed a little bit. We were sitting at a cruise speed of around 220, give or take. And we're going to bring that down just a little bit as we start our slow approach. Alright, let's go ahead and check out the airport and give some stats on that. What are we looking at? So, Martin State, KMTN. Runway is about 7,000 feet in length. It looks like they got parking off to the right. We're going to be taking taxiway C to probably A or D. We'll figure out what the assigned parking is once we land there. We're going to be basically exiting the runway to the right via taxiway. C, A, or D, depending on what ATC or ground gives us. Alright, so we are 3.4 nautical miles away from the top of our descent here, which we already started. And then we have a 5 nautical mile approach that we want to get to 1,020 feet. Alright, let's go ahead and go back. Alright, St. Martin, there it is. We're going to tune into the tower.
Tower number Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha is 15 miles northwest, 1,800 feet from India to land. Tower Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha Tower. Altimeter 30.07, wind calm, keep straight and runway 15.
Alright, they're saying wind is calm. We're currently at 20 knots.
Make straight and runway 15 Tower Golf Sierra Alpha.
Let's tune to the Atlas and see what it is down there.
Airport information, India 1100 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 10. Sky condition, ceiling 10,000 feet broken. Temperature 11. Viewpoint 10. Altimeter 30.08. Visual runway 15 in use. Landing and departing runway tree.
All right, so they're saying wind is going to be calm. We got 20 knots at our back. Um, we'll see if it drops as we're landing. Alright, so we are coming up there. We're going to set our altitude here to 1,000 feet. We're going to drop our speed down here to the white arc, which is about 122 knots. And then we're going to deploy our landing gear. We got our landing lights on already. And we're going to deploy our flaps. So first we'll do the flaps once we get to that 122. So 10 degrees of flaps. Landing gear is down. We got clear for landing.
Clear to land runway 15, November Sierra Alpha.
Alright, this is our airport over here. We got landing gear all green. Here we are, Baltimore, Maryland, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, wind has died down. We only got 4 knots, so the wind was just heavy up in the 3,000, even 1,000 foot elevation. So the TBM 930, for all of those that don't know, that's watching, has reverse thrusters. So we're gonna hit those once we land, once we get touchdown on the runway. We'll come to a nice abrupt stop. And then we'll taxiway over. Runway number 15. Come in for a nice little smooth landing here. Last few landings have been a little rough. We're going to try to do a little nice one today. Do the flare up.
Nice landing, pilot.
There's the reverse thrust.
Transporter from dispatch. Clear the runway and taxi to parking.
Turn that off. We got a decent taxi speed, I think.
November Sierra Alpha, turn into taxiway.
Alright, So we'll turn off on the taxiway here, contact ground.
Delta Golf Sierra Alpha, contact ground on 121.8.
Alright, so we are out there. We're going to set the parking brake real quick.
121.8 Denver Golf Sierra Alpha. Goodbye. Run Denver Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha taxi to parking.
Delta Alpha Sierra, X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha taxi to General Aviation parking via taxiway Charlie.
Taxi to General Aviation parking via taxiway Charlie Denver Golf Sierra Alpha.
Alright, we are ready to taxi here. Get going. And then we'll hop on taxiway Charlie. And we'll get the exterior view here. Actually, we got to go inside first. We're going to turn on our taxi lights. So that is the runway that we landed on. Still got a nice sunrise going. And we'll check out this Baltimore, Maryland area. Trying to get that centered and up a little bit. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and find out where general aviation parking is on the map. Alright, we're good. So this is where we sit. We just landed in on 15. We're taking taxiway Charlie over to our general aviation parking. So we're going to get a nice look at Baltimore, Maryland here over at KMTN Martin State. I think this might be a municipal airport. It just says Martin State. Not really centered with the taxiway here. There we go. Alright, there's a nice look at the tower. Well maintained airport here. We got some storage. We got Baltimore Washington International Airport out there. Alright, we got some people over here giving us some direction. So we're gonna fly out here. We got a whole crew of people. So we're gonna be parking up by the storage units here. Man, we got people. Oh, we got a whole crew of people over here. Alright, we were just waiting for them to clear. Man, he is just like walking straight at us. If you want to be that stupid, we'll do that. Alright, so we are there. We're going to cut our throttle down,
Okay, pilot,
turn off our
gas is
fuel
taking the
supply.
aircraft now.
And we will go ahead and check NeoFly and see what that landing was. That was a pretty tight landing. Yeah, so that landing was minus 116 over here at KMTN. We have had some rough landings lately, so good to have a nice smooth one for a change. Alright, so appreciate you guys tuning in.
Transporter. All the passengers have disembarked.
We
Good
are
job. See you soon.
gonna let NeoFly finish up there. They're gonna say like ready to fly or something next.
You are clear to start your engine.
Yeah. Alright. So yeah, that concludes our little update for NeoFly, and we're in Baltimore, Maryland. We're gonna try to head up the northwest area for a little bit. We're gonna try to fly into New York City at some point soon, and we'll take it from there. And we'll just kind of hang out in the Northeast for a little bit, and we'll get that. We'll see what we can find, and then later on today or this morning, I'm definitely going to refill my coffee cup right now first. But we'll see about getting our Hawaiian tour fourth leg going and depart from Maui. We'll see where we're going next. I'm not even sure myself. So we do have the flight plan laid out, but I'm sort of discovering everything as you do with these adventure flights that we're making. So that's outside of NeoFly. So if you haven't seen those, check those out. We did one in the Florida Keys, we did one in Japan, and we did one out in California and Nevada. So appreciate you tuning in, and we will see you on the next one. Hopefully everybody enjoys their Saturday here. So we will see you later.